Every Sunday, we help to put the pieces back together again. This is not just about playing church. This is about being church for our world. This is about changing lives and saving our world.
Sunday we said all are welcome in our church, no matter what your past is.
The roots run deep and flow to the river. The river widens and clings to the land. The land is under my feet as I walk to you. I reach for your outstretched hand. We are connected by time, by space, and by feeling.
The thing that stands out for me as the most prominent would be the work that our church has done around spirituality and sexuality. So many churches are so afraid to talk about sexuality. And here at MCC, we celebrate sexuality as a gift and spirituality so that people don't have to choose between, for instance, being gay and being Christian, but can bring those two together.
MCC Toronto is a place that welcomes absolutely everyone and everybody, and where I, as a Jewish woman, come with my non-Jewish partner to celebrate life. It's a really fun way to celebrate God.
The MCC means to me a place where I can be who I am and I can grow spiritually. It's a place that is just totally full of love, and I'm just so lucky to be able to found it and be a part of it.
MCC Toronto means to me a home away from home, where I can come and rejuvenate my spirit. It is a place where I can come and sing and enjoy the music and laughter and even tears sometimes.
We may not see it, we still feel it, the connection between.
Today we look around the world, there are 86 countries where I, as a gay or lesbian person, would be arrested simply for being in the company of gay and lesbian people. Between 7 and 10 of those where I would be executed. And so there are many countries around the world where people are living in fear every day, where they could never even think of holding their partner's hand or never think of having human rights. And we have a responsibility to reach around the world to help as we can. We have to do that properly. We can't be imperialistic. We can't impose our religion or our way of being, but we have to hear the cries for justice.
It's meant a number of things to me, and I think it's the same for a lot of people that come here. For many, it's a place where they come just to worship. For others, it's about the social experience. For others, it may be about the social justice issues that the church tackles. But in all places, I think many people come at different places in their lives and different times in their lives for different things.
It's a healing place. It's a sense of community, and the music is amazing. It's very inspiring to make a difference and call for action and to change the world. And all are welcome here.
My spirit begins to rise and dreams take me to daylight.
In one of those demonstrations after the Bath raids, it was getting more and more violent, and the police were reacting, beating people up at the end of demonstrations. And there was one case where an elderly man fell on the sidewalk when they were trying to clear the sidewalk, and he fell, and they were kicking him, and I jumped in and grabbed him and pulled him out. And 2 officers held me while a 3rd one beat me. That was not uncommon in those early days. And so we've had to work really hard at changing that relationship, at doing the education piece to make it better today.
'Cause we are connected by time, by space, and by feeling.
Love what happens to people when they learn together. And one of the things we've been very conscious of at MCC Toronto is that people don't have to agree with each other to be in the same space and to still worship together, to learn together, to still become friends. And we've brought a curiosity rather than a piece of judgment. So when we have courses and folks absolutely disagree with each other, we find a way to keep that space, to hold that tension, and allow them to be curious about the other person's point of view, knowing neither have to convince the other. And we still stay in relationship, we stay in community, we stay in church. It's not easy work. It's fantastic work.
MCCT is a place where all are welcome. And when I first started coming here years ago, I knew nobody, and I still felt really welcome.
Also a place I can come and share my gifts and experience the many, many gifts that other people have.
My partner and I were married in this church, and we went home. Thank you, Canada. Canada, when we owned slaves, you permitted them to come over into your country. Thank you, Canada. During wartime, you permitted GIs to come into this country. Thank you, Canada. Thank you, Canada, for marriage.
I was just overwhelmed by this sense of gratitude. You know, like how many clergy around the world could be open and have an amazing church like this and live in a city, in a country like this, and to receive the country's highest honor. No gay or lesbian person has ever gotten their country's highest honor. And so, you know, it meant a lot for me, obviously, personally, in terms of the award. But, you know, one of the journalists said to me, he said, "Brent, do you know what this stands for?" He said, "This didn't have to happen. Nobody was pressuring this committee to do this." And he said, "This is your country's way of saying that the gay and lesbian community is now accepted. To honor a leader for their work on behalf of the community is saying that that community is now accepted as part of the country." But I think one of the things that was most moving for me is one day at my home, there was a note stuck through the door. And it was a note from a young man, and he said, "Reverend Hawks, you've never met me. But when I heard that you got the Order of Canada, I was so proud to live in this country." And to help young people feel proud and to help families feel proud, because when they heard about that, they have to recognize their son or daughter is going to be welcomed in this country. Our church started out initially as a primary ministry to the gay and lesbian community, and there's still certainly a sense of a need for that and a need for safety, etc. But we're recognizing that there are lots of folks from lots of different communities and lots of different backgrounds who need that sense of safety and that place of worship. And I'm very excited at our church that we see more and more families coming, and more heterosexual families who really want a place where their kids can be raised that's progressive, because they don't want the old right-wing theology. That's progressive, that's inclusive, and that's vibrant, so their kids are going to want to go to church when they're teenagers. And that's what we see happening at our church.
Go from this place knowing that God's blessings go before you, that God's face will shine upon you and be gracious unto you, and God will grant you peace. And you're going out and you're coming in, and you're lying down and you're rising up. In your labor, in your leisure, in your laughter, and in your tears. Go that day. And so there's no dawning and no sunset, no death. So now rejoicing. God bless you.
We want to welcome you to this virtual experience, to be able to experience the amazing church that MCC Toronto is. We hope that you'll tune in with us regularly, to worship with us, to take courses, to learn, to grow. We want to form virtual communities in towns and cities all around the world where people meet together, see the service, and support each other. Come and visit with us. Check our website, mcctoronto.com, and you can find our locations all around the world.
The roots run deep and flow to the river. The river widens and clings to the land. The land is underneath my feet as I walk to you, and I reach for